Hello, welcome to my live chat. It's Wednesday night chat with Nick. Hello, everybody. Been a crazy day today, and tonight is a premiere of Arrow, so I might not run too long. I have it DVR, but we'll see how long I need to talk. Anyhow, hello, everybody. Let me make sure I get everything set up as always. See what's going on. Let's see. It's actually weather-wise fairly chilly down here this week. For the first time, you know, this winter we have had weather that are chilly. I mean, by chilly I mean it go down to the upper 40s at night, low 50s, and during the day it's in the 60s. Pleasant weather, sweatshirt weather, sweater weather. I still walk around in shorts and sandals. But overall, I this is the kind of weather I like, a little crisp. But anyhow, for those that follow the stock market, what a crazy day. It has been one heck of a crazy week. And today was insane. For those that follow the stock market, today was absolutely insane. I did not do any trades today. All I did was sit back and watch the madness unfold. Hopefully, for those that participate in the stock market trading, I hope you did okay. If you can make money in the stock market in this crazy environment in the past few weeks, the past few months, good for you. It's something that I can't make money in this kind of crazy environment. I try my best not to lose money in this kind of crazy environment. Last night was a doozy of a day because there was a big special on TV. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen clips of that special where DC roll out a bunch of specials for the Legends of Tomorrow TV show, which doesn't really excite me. I can't get too excited about that show. It looked, there's not one character in that lineup that excite me. So, well, maybe Hawkman and Hawkgirl would be, two characters I thought is halfway decent. But the Atom and White Canary, and then Ice and Fire, whatever. Those two brothers, oof, I didn't like them when they appeared in the Flash TV show. So I'm not sure what the heck is going on there. Speaking of Flash, the premiere was last night of the second half of the season. A decent show. Flash is okay. Flash has held up quite well. Arrow ended before Christmas. The last show before Christmas was fairly good with a pretty big cliffhangers. I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't watched the show, but I'm very interested in seeing what happened tonight. I want to see how things unfold. From the preview, it looked interesting. And then DC rolled out some extra clips last night with Batman versus Superman. It looked good, but the best part was Wonder Woman extra clips that they show. I liked it. I liked that a lot, actually. I thought she looked great. I thought Gal Gadot looked really good. And there was 3 action sequence. For those that have seen it, I don't need to explain it, but for those that haven't seen it, the clips, I'm sure if you go on YouTube and check and search, you can find those clips. They're not bootleg or anything like that. But the Wonder Woman from the preview is in World War II era, so it's gonna be an origin story from what I understand. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how they tell her story, because they show her riding on horse, and the two action sequence that they show how she do the move with the shield. I like that. I like it a lot. Something about that shield that works really well. I'm not sure who came up with the idea of incorporate the shield in with her character, but I like it. I wasn't sure if it would look. I like it even more than the sword, to be honest. But and then the only clip that looked kind of not so great is hey Cap, come in, welcome to my Wednesday night chat. But the one clip of Wonder Woman that didn't look all that great was when she was riding her horse, and a couple of Nazi was in the background, well, foreground, and then she charged them with the sword and swing at them. I don't know. I like the close-up scene where she was fighting them hand combat. That looked better, but why wouldn't those guys shoot at her if she was riding on horse? There was a long distance between her and the Nazis, and she was able to ride her horse there to kill them with her sword. So I don't know, but that looked good. And then Suicide Squad was a big finale as far as a big teaser. That's a tough one. I have a hard time getting excited about Suicide Squad, mainly because I was, the Joker is a Joker, okay? Sure, this new Joker, I'm not sure if it's something I will like, but as far as the rest, Killer Crocs, Deadshot, Diablo, you name it, the rest of the cast, including Harlequin, I'm indifferent. So for me, it's not that I don't want to see the movie or wish the movie to fail. It's just that there's nothing, it's very little as far as the characters in the movie that excite me. So I'm pretty sure I will watch it when they come out, but for me, it's a kind of moment when I see the Suicide Squad trailer. It didn't really make me want to scream and going, wow, that's awesome. That was not the reaction that I received. Cap, Phil, what do you say? I think Suicide Squad is either going to be so bad it's good or just terrible. Could be, it's a big gamble. This is probably the biggest gamble for both Marvel and DC, in my opinion. Some people say, oh, Ant-Man was a huge gamble, Doctor Strange was a huge gamble. To me, Suicide Squad is a huge gamble because outside of the hardcore comic book fan with the Joker, there's none of the other characters would be common to the average person, from Diablo to Killer Crocs, and Killer Crocs just looks silly. I mean, it's just, and then the character with the sword, the Japanese character, I don't know. That looked just, that looked like something that belonged in Valiant. Speaking of Valiant, I haven't heard any news of the movies that they're supposed to be making. I think they're supposed to be launching at least 1 or 2 movies, right, with Valiant. So I don't know. I don't know if that's still coming, but yeah, like I said, the Suicide Squad, the whole special bits with Kevin Smith was fun. I mean, Kevin Smith is a fun guy. I mean, I think Kevin Smith is the kind of guy that I think any comic book person would enjoy jibber jabbing with, because he's just a very knowledgeable comic book nerd that I think any of us would enjoy having a conversation with. So it's I think he was the best part of the special, was seeing how excited he was with, all the clips, But for me, it was okay. I mean, it's I enjoyed the 30-minute special. This, it could be more because they couldn't put out more spoilers. So I understand why it's only 30 minutes, but it was enjoyable. But other than that, did I buy anything? I did buy something, but I have not paid for it yet, and it has not been shipped. So I have nothing to show. It's an X-Men Silver Age book, something that I have in a slab that I finally found a cheap, lower grade copy that I can buy and replace. I have been trying to do that for the past 2 years as I wean myself off slab collecting. Comic Quest, hello. I wasn't impressed with the trailer. I haven't seen since I first seen the teaser trailer. You're talking about Suicide Squad, Comic Quest. You might like the new trailer more. I think the new trailer is actually better than the teaser that was shown at Comic-Con. The one thing that I got from watching the special, for those that watch it, is that I think they did let out a big spoiler that the Joker is not part of the Suicide Squad. Did anybody catch that? I think the Suicide Squad is put together to, I'm guessing, okay? But from my recollection of watching the trailer, is that the Suicide Squad, the Joker is not part of the Suicide Squad. So the Joker must be the bad guy that the Suicide Squad was put together to fight. So I don't know. I thought that maybe I read something wrong in that kind of discussion that Kevin Smith had on TV last night. But that's what I gathered in my head when I was listening to the discussion, that the Joker is not part of the Suicide Squad team. So if he's not, and he's in the movie, and the Suicide Squad was put together to fight some more evil force, then perhaps it's Joker and his bad guys, friends. I don't know. His henchmen. I don't know. But like, regardless, like I said, it looked okay. I'm mildly interested in the movie, and I probably will go see. Definitely not the first week. It's not like the movie that I will line up to go see the first weekend. But I had to say I am more interested in Deadpool. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Deadpool or Harlequin. But now that I see all the trailers, I must say that I felt the Deadpool trailers was more interesting to me. It made me want to go see that movie more than the Suicide Squad trailer. The Suicide Squad trailer was interesting, but it certainly did not, get me to like, oh, I gotta go see this movie. No. Oh, but I agree with Phil. It could be a disaster. Okay, it could be. I don't know. It's gonna be the modern Dirty Dozen. It's not the first time. It's not the first time that this kind of concept was put together. So we'll see. I will wait until Blu-ray. I want to see Deadpool and never read his book. Same here. I have outside of New Mutant 98, which I bought off the rack and read and was not impressed. That book always make me chuckle because I remember so vividly buying that book and read it and like that seeing how much bigger he has become is just a complete surprise to me. I think, you know, I had talked about this before, like every generation had this. I'm sure there's many people that saw Hulk 181 off the rack and was not impressed with Wolverine whatsoever, and 30 years later was dumbfounded at the popularity of Wolverine. The same thing is with me today as a person that bought New Mutant 98 off the rack and was completely uninterested in the character, only to see him blow up 20 plus years later. It blows my mind. But like I said, I understand that each generation of reader find something cool and neat about certain characters, and that's fine. Hey, my generation found Wolverine. Current generation found Deadpool. And I think I was more angry with Marvel when they canceled X-Force, because you know I was a completist, right? I was buying X-Force for the sake of having a complete run because I bought X-Force 1. Oh no, New Mutant. I mean, I bought New Mutant 1 all the way through. I was more of a completist, be a mutant completist. So I was more mad that Marvel canceled the title at issue 100 in order to reintroduce X-Force, or in order for Liefeld to launch his X-Force title. To me, that was one of the early stage where I was resenting the money grabbing strategy. You know, to me, it was just like, why can't you just continue New Mutant? Why do you have to cancel New Mutant and launch X-Force? X-Force can have its own crappy. I'm telling you, when I was buying X-Force, I bought like the first maybe 6 issues of X-Force. Oh, unreadable. Yeah. Maybe people today think that, but for me, I remember I bought like the first 6 issues and I'm just like, God, this is so bad. I mean, Rough Liefeld art at the time for me was interesting and different. That's how you know, I look at his art. I felt that he has potential, especially when I know how young he was. Rough Liefeld blew up so early. You know, for those that remember how he was, even got himself into a Levi's jeans commercial. You know, he became a superstar out of nowhere. So, you know, I didn't buy Rob Liefeld. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Doesn't matter to me. I think I developed a dislike for Rob more because of the insane amount of love from fans later. I was never a fan of his art. They weren't bad. He had potential, but when people start to fawn over him as if like he's the greatest artist, it start to, that's when it bugs me. Let's see. Just checking my email. Yeah, and then as far as TV show, you know, I'm still watching Supergirl. It's okay. Like I said, the show is interesting as far as Supergirl. I think the actress that plays Supergirl is fantastic. Her boss, can't remember the name, Harrison Ford's wife. It's interesting, it's fun, the relationship, but I'm not a fan of Jimmy Olsen and the love triangle. That's getting old to me. And same thing with the villain. I mean, it's I'm not a fan of most of the villains that have been introduced so far with the show, but I watch the show more because of the rest of the story, as far as I actually like Martian Manhunter. I thought the inclusion of Martian Manhunter for the Supergirl show was clever, and it was well done. I like the actor. I like the relationship between Martian Manhunter and Supergirl. Hopefully, that's not a spoiler for those that haven't watched the show. My apology, I spoiled for you. Martian Manhunter is introduced in the show, and he looked pretty cool. And I like how he was used in the last episode. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody. But back to TV, I can't say enough that for those that like mystery, horror, suspense, drama, watch Fortitude. Hello, 754 Screwgun. Listening to you at work. Don't get caught. But Fortitude, it's a weird name of a show. What I remember, seeing that it's like Fortitude. It doesn't sound like a name of a town, but that's what it's supposed to be. But I have now finished all the episode. I watched it in roughly 4 days, quicker than I want to. But the last week, between Christmas break and the last few weeks, there was no new episode on anything else on TV. So it's the best way to binge through something new, and it's fantastic. I'm telling you, the first half season of Fortitude was more of a mystery, crime drama thing, and then halfway through the season, it had a huge twist into the horror show, where I had a lot of moments where I say, "OMG, oh my God!" There, oh, whoa, oh. So it's I'm not the kind of person that love to watch horror, gory show, but when it's well done, it's really good. I mean, it's not scary. Okay, so it's not like Fortitude is a horror scary show. It's kind of gory in some area, but it's cringeworthy. There's quite a few moments that is cringeworthy because it's kind of horrific, but it's part of the show and storyline, so it's not gratuitous as far as the blood and gore. Okay, so for that, but if you have a chance to watch Fortitude, do it. You will not be disappointed. It is such an awesome show. It's really good. I mean, it's hard to compare Fortitude with any other show because there's nothing else to compare it to. It's not like you can compare it to. There's nothing. Like I said, there's literally nothing on TV right now that I can compare the show to. So it won't be fair to try to compare that show to anything in the past either, because and I watch a lot of X-Files, Twilight Zone. I mean, this show is whack. Okay, so I had to say that hats off to the writers of Fortitude to create something fairly unique and engaging characters. So big thumbs up. I can't give it a bigger thumbs up than this, and it's just a fantastic show. And yes, as I mentioned at the early part of this show, the weather is cold enough that for this night, instead of my usual iced coffee, I'm having hot tea. Other than that, I have nothing else to report. I bought nothing, sold nothing. Well, I bid on a few things last night. Comic Link auction is going on right now. Okay, last night and this whole week. So if you're not aware that Comic Link is having an auction, check it out, because I think bidding start at 8 o'clock every night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and go all the way to 10 or 10:30, whatever it is. I haven't bid late ever, so I don't know. But it's this whole week for the next few days is all Comic Link auction. So, Mike, for those, do you think any main characters will die in the next Walking Dead episode because the kid calling to his mom? Hmm. Hmm. I don't think any main character is gonna die. They've been killing off like seemingly one every season, right? At least one. Um, it was almost one. They all, I think a lot of people thought one of the main character was Dead Meat uh, last season, but somehow it was a miracle that he survived laying underneath the body. That I didn't think that he died when they show him laying there with the guy on top of him and a zombie ripping the other guys and all the blood. I didn't think that he's gonna die because I don't think I have watched every show and I don't recall ever seeing death scenes where they tease like that and then the character actually died. Usually when somebody die, they actually have a horrific death scene and you actually see the person die, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I have never missed an episode. But so, but I don't think anybody's gonna die. I hope not. I have grown to be very attached to all of them, at least all the main one. All the new people that they keep adding, they can die. um, and that's another franchise that I am extremely happy with what they have done so far. Even the show that they launched a few months ago um, is a prequel of the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. How many episodes was there? 5? I can't remember. I know I watched all of them, and it felt really short. It felt like it barely lasts like 4 or 5 weeks. But I watched all the show. Once again, I thought they did a very good job introducing really interesting, engaging characters, and ultimately, that's what the show is all about. That's what any show is all about. I think for me, what make a good TV show is engaging, interesting characters. 6 episodes. Okay, thank you. I just know that my DVR I set up for like taping 5 episodes. So when number 6 is taped, the first one I kicked off. I just know that I saw at least 5 saved up still in there, and I can't wait for the next season, whenever that is. But I think ultimately with the show, any show from crime to superhero is having interesting character, because the Walking Dead, the premise of the show by now is nothing nothing trying to find the right word for it. It's nothing new. but they do such a good job with the character that I watch it just to see the characters, just to see the interaction between the characters, to hear the dialogue. It's, for me, the zombie is almost secondary. It's more about hoping that these people can make it. I want them to survive. February 14th, ooh, Valentine's Day. What a way to kick off Valentine with The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, I have not heard anything more about Fear of the Walking Dead. I'm pretty bad with knowing when all the new show will come out, because I have all my DVR in the house set up to tape, so I check it every week to see what show is new. Nerd Division, hello, thank you for joining me. We all excited for the new Arrow show tonight? I know I am. I'm fearing the worst for Arrow because I think the person that we think die. That would be a bummer. That was a spoiler that they show him standing next to a grave last season. So I don't know. I have a bad feeling in my gut that the person that I think did die. Otherwise, why keep showing, right? They keep showing more scenes of him being so sad, standing next to the grave, seeking revenge. I like her too. I like the character too. So, to me, Arrow, to me, I don't understand why Arrow felt a need to kill off so many characters for shock value. Sometimes to me, it's just like you don't have to. There's a way to write shows and stories without having to kill off a few characters every season. But that's me. I'm not against having characters killed off in the show, just like The Walking Dead. At least one major character die every season. But for me, it seemed like Arrow have more nonsense death, villains included. Little off topic, but did you sell your giant size X-Men 1 9.6 grade yet? Not yet, my friend. Not yet. I have somebody that expressed interest in the book, and I told him that I will hold it for 3 months. And then if he decides he doesn't want to buy it for whatever reason, that's cool with me. Then I will look to either consign it or sell it. But for now, I'm holding it for someone for another 2 months, because I gave him 3 months since the video came out. He saw the book in the video, and he asked me if I can hold it. So I did. So for now, it's still in my possession. But when the time comes, if he doesn't want it in March, I will let everybody know. It will be a good deal. Trust me. If I sell that book, whoever it is that buy it, if I don't have to consign the book to the auction house, it will be a win-win for me and the owner, because he will pay less than GPA, and I will get a little bit more than if I consign the book to Comic Link or eBay. I might want it, but I cannot afford the September or so. Not a problem. Like I said, I am in no rush for cash, thankfully. So, if March come around and the buyer no longer want the book, I will let you know. And then if you want me to hold it to September, not a problem. And if you don't want it, then I can sell to somebody else. I'm pretty sure I can sell that book fairly easily. So It's not a big deal with me at all to hold the book for anybody. You know, and like I said, luckily I don't have a rush for a need for cash, so I can hold it. So not a big deal. So I will let you know. But all the books that I have shown in my cleaning the closet, I've been so busy, extremely busy, that I have not consigned them yet. And I have not decided if I will sell them privately to you know, or use eBay. I haven't decided yet. I've been just too busy to deal with trying to sell the book. It's in your top 3. What's the other 2? May I ask? What's the other 2 books that you are on your list? For me, one of the earlier chat this year, somebody asked me what was on my list of things I want to buy for this year, and I mentioned X-Men 1, like a mid-grade X-Men 1. The other thing that I want to complete, if there's a short run that I want to complete badly, I won't say badly, but I want to complete, is Silver Surfer. You know, it's 18 issues, so it's very doable. Oh, you're also looking for an X-Men 1 and NYX3. Good luck with your X-Men 1. I'm hunting for something between 5.0 and 7.0. I think that's the range that I think I want to buy as far as X-Men 1 is concerned. I know Comic Link has a couple issues for auction that's ending in 3 days. So if you're in search for an X-Men 1, take a look in Comic Link. I know they have an 8.5 and something lower, but Comic Link always have at least 1 or 2 X-Men 1 in auction. So there's no shortage of X-Men 1 out there. But I'm not yet ready to buy. That's why I'm not bidding on any X-Men 1 book this month. I'm also looking for X-Men 1. I can settle for 1.8. Hey, that's fine too. You know, like I said, at the end of the day, I don't rule out buying a lower grade, like a 2.0 even. The thing is, because I want to, even if I buy a slab, I think I want to crack it out and read it and hold it. So I'm just not a big fan of buying a super low grade book raw, because the risk of damaging it further is way too high. I'm more comfortable handling mid-grade level book raw than low grade, because you know I have low grade slabs and I'm not cracking any of those books out, because when they low grade and I can pop this, you know, tear the page. Well, there's a lot of things that can happen when you handle really low grade books that I prefer not to crack them out at all. But yes, Silver Surfer is one short run, 18 issues that I would like to complete. My goal is this year, but it was a goal last year too, and I failed that miserably. You know, it took me forever to, you know, get 1, 2, and 3. I'm still missing 4. I kick myself for keep passing up on a nice looking issue 4, but I have 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. I'm missing 8 and 9. And of course, the last issue, 18. So, and one more, I'm missing 15. So I'm missing 4, 8, 9, 15, 18. So I'm missing 5 out of the 18 issues. I would like to complete that run. Yes, issue 4 is the most expensive book out of the 5 missing Silver Surfer book that I need. So I will settle for a mid-grade. You know, that's another one of those books that are tough to find high grade. And I said, I'm not spending 4 figures on that book. No way. I kicked myself for passing up many mid-grade level book that was affordable. Because, and that's one of the books that, you know, I have read the story. I had a really low grade readers years ago, and I sold it. And in many ways, I wish I didn't. I almost had the complete run in low grade readers, and over the years, I sold all the issues that I'm missing now. Stupid me. Except for 18, I have never owned issue 18. But over the years, you know, I thought I can replace them with a higher grade copy, and I never did. And in many ways, in hindsight, I'm perfectly happy owning a 4.0 issue number 4. That's what I had. I have like a very good copy that had a big crease and tears, all that stuff. But hey, at least if I had it, I would only need issue 18. But in hindsight, let's see. Yes, I can't wait for you to get a hold of that book and read it to us. You bet. When I get the complete run of Silver Surfer, I will definitely do a bunch of videos that show the interior of all of 18 books, maybe 2 or 3 per video. So it might be like a 6 video spotlight, but I will show every page of all 18 books, much like I'm doing now with Submariner. I loaded a video, Submariner 1 and 2, where I show every page. I shot issue 2 and 3. Well, I shot issue 1 and 2. I loaded that. I shot issue 3 and 4, which I will load this weekend. And then I just shot today issue 5 and 6, which is my favorite because it has tiger shark awesomeness. Mike, for those, you said that X-Men 107 all have a rip above the bottom staple. Yes, it is a killer book to find without that. I had one. I sold it last year. I had a beautiful copy that was I bought raw many years ago, and I slabbed it and it got a 9.6, and I sold it. I auctioned it in a Comic Link. So yes, one of the few lucky ones that had a copy without a tear. It's a production flaw that exists in seem like every single copy I saw on eBay, right? I have 2 copies of that book raw, but they are both low grades. Maybe one is mid-grade, but one is definitely a reader's. But yes, X-Men 107 is a killer hard book. With the production flaw, not easy at all. Another one that's tough is X-Men 120, the purple dark covers of the first cameo of Alpha Flight. That one seemed like every copy has just horrendous flaws or a lot of spine ticks. And then on top of that, many issue of 120 have a poorly cut edge on the right side. So the cover is not completely flush and straight. It's have that jagged, rough cut on the right edge, which drive me crazy. So yes, good luck if you can find a 107 that are near flawless. I look all the time. Whenever I'm on eBay and bored, I always type in X-Men 107 just to see what are available, and sure enough, every single copy had that damn stupid tear. And I'm surprised that that book does not. I think my copy of 107 didn't sell for big money, you know, for something that's hard. Hang in there. Let me look. Let me log into Comic Link. Now that we talk about it, I want to find out how much I sold my copy for. Let's see. Comic Link. The beauty about Comic Link is, you know, for those that consign books to them, and same thing with Heritage. The record of what you sold is there forever. Let's see what my auction. Let's see. I will be back. Need to upload some video. Not a problem, my man. I'm looking. X-Men 107. Where are you? X-Men 107. How much did I sold my copy for $336. So it actually went for a pretty good price. $336 was the copy that I sold. Yowza. What a beautiful copy as well. Wow. Now that I look at the copy I sold, ooh, not a pretty wrap whatsoever. It was crooked, miswrap, but hey, at least the tear is not on the bottom staple. I can see why now I sold it, because it was not the centering that I'm looking for. Yes, so that's when I consigned all those X-Men to Comic Link 2 Christmas ago. Let me see. The one that fetched the biggest price was X-Men 104. I had a 9.8 that sold for $425. Yeah, that was the biggest money there. Some of the books went for really cheap, like X-Men 122. The 9.6 copy I had was sold for $73. That was not pretty. And then let's see what else. I sold so many books on Comic Link that it's crazy. Mike Photos, I love those eBay vids you did about people buying comics super expensive. Yes, I have refrained from making those videos because I didn't want to call out buyers, because most likely, you know, I feel bad making fun of people buying dumb things. You know, heck, I made enough dumb decision buying overpay for things, so I had been in that boat before. And when I made those videos, I thought about making them like every month, because heck, eBay had a ton of craziness going on every week, you know, so it's easy to do a video monthly and highlighted a bunch of craziness on eBay. But I thought about it, I'm just like, you know, let's not drag people over the coal, because you know, I don't know, I just don't karma. Okay, I'm trying to play nice, and the comic god will be nice for me. The comic god has been very kind to me over the past many years, so you know, I try not to disturb the force. As I'm talking to you, I'm looking at my history of selling on Comic Link, and my God, I had some doozy books that I'm sure will go for much more today if I still have the books. Like I had an Spider-Man 101, a 9.6. Spider-Man 101, 101, 9.6 white page, first Mobius. I sold it for $1,325. 1325. I guarantee you that book is a lot more today. What a beautiful copy too. My God. What else did I saw? I had a lot of brown Spider-Man super high grades. I have a issue 90, 9.6 white page. I sold for $700. What a bargain. I'm sure the book went for a lot of money. But if there was one book, I have talked about this many, many times to friends. If there was one book that I regret selling, was that Spider-Man 101, because it is such a beautiful copy. And I bought it raw, and I just can't believe how lucky I was to buy it. And to this day, I still kept a scan of that book, and I'm just kind of sad that I sold it. Because if there's one book that I did try to buy back, was that book. But no way would the current owner ever sell it back to me. But yeah, I probably, out of all the auction house, I consigned the most to Comic Link. But they've been good to me, as far as accepting my books. I wish they changed their policy and offer better scans of both front covers and back covers. I have complained about that forever. But as far as dealing with them in consigning books for auction, I have got fairly decent prices for them. So I'm okay with my relationship with Comic Link. But I'm not afraid to consign my books with either Comic Link or Heritage or Comic Connect. I'm still supposed to do a video comparing the three auction house. I have meant to do this forever, and I keep putting it off, because it's a fairly complicated video to do, because it's a huge, it's a big topic as far as what comparing all three major auction house. So I had sat down and thought about doing it, and for whatever reason I have not been able to put together a video, but it's still on my list of videos to do. Speaking of videos to do, let's see, I have one more video of Rudy Nebre, for those that like my artist spotlight. I shot 2 more videos as far as first appearances rating is concerned. So I got that. I got 42 TV show review that I need to load. Do you think Civil War would be better than Infinity War movies? I want to see, well, both for sure, but I think the Infinity War would be a much grander spectacle. So I'm looking forward to see that more than the Civil War, because Civil War is just correct me if I'm wrong, but the Civil War is just a one-shot movie, right? The Captain America movie coming out next is a Civil War movie, but I think the storyline ends there, right? I don't think the Civil War storyline is going to carry over to other movies. But the Infinity War is a massive saga, so to me it's a bigger spectacle. Speaking of video, back to what I was talking about before. The next spotlight, as far as artists I'm doing, I'm thinking about doing one on Dan Atkins. For those that are familiar with Dan Atkins, I'm a big fan of Dan Atkins, especially his inking. So, I don't do a lot of inkers. So Dan Atkins might be the next one up where, because he's kind of like a hybrid between a penciler and an inker, more so for his inking, but he's a fairly decent artist as well as far as penciling. So after Rudy Nebre, I might do a spotlight on Dan Atkins, and that might take 2 videos. And then after Dan Atkins, I have no idea. I have no idea what else to do next after that. I shot a lot of video to show off the art of John Buscema. So in many ways, it's easier to just do videos like showing off like Submariner 1 and 2, show the beautiful art of John Buscema, than trying to do an artist spotlight that talk about his evolution as an artist. Mike said, I think it's a one shot. I think so too. So that's why, I think Civil War is a neat idea and concept for the movie in many ways, to help introduce the Black Panther, and maybe get Bucky into the fold. Yes, Nerd Vision. Did Dan Atkins do some inking in Doctor Strange? I think I recognize the name. Yes, in fact, Dan Atkins did all the works for issue 169 when they launched Doctor Strange title. So if you have Doctor Strange 169, when they launched that title in 1968, that's all Dan Atkins. So Dan Atkins have penciled quite a lot of the Strange Tales books, but more or less in the later part of his career, he was more of an inker. And if you, his inking is spectacular in many books. I think the only artist that doesn't fit his inking style very well is Gene Colan. But Gene Colan is tough to ink for most inker. I have a few books that have Gene Colan penciling and Dan Atkins inking, and I felt the inking was not a good match. But when it comes down to Dan Atkins and John Buscema, if you have like Silver Surfer, I think he inked a lot. Well, I can't say, I don't know for sure, but I know he inked quite a few of the Silver Surfer book with John Buscema art, and they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So when I do his spotlight, I might have to include a few Silver Surfer books. I might. Gene Colan is one of my favorite because of his Daredevil. Indeed, Gene Colan to me is so unique. Speaking of that, if you subscribe to Comic Preacher, the Comic Preacher, he loaded a video, I think yesterday, that show the interior of a Daredevil book that highlighted Gene Colan. Gene Colan is so unique and so awesome. His work in Daredevil to me is spectacular. But my favorite work is his short run with Doctor Strange, with Tom Palmer. It is beautiful. I mean, those issues from the short run that he did in the Silver Age with Doctor Strange is so awesome. When he returned to Doctor Strange later, his style is not as his work is not as sharp. Gene Colan to me in his later days, especially if you look at his work in Tomb of Dracula, for whatever reason, to me the quality of the work during that stage, and his later Bronze Age books with Doctor Strange just didn't look as good as the work that he did for the same title back in the 60s. I just look at the clock, it's 7:53, so in 7 minutes it's time for me to shut off and go watch Arrow. But anyhow, I'm thankful for all the people that join me on the live chat and ask me all the questions and participate. It certainly makes the 1 hour go a lot faster. You know, sometimes I don't have people that join in on the live chat to appear face to face like I did last week. Last week was pretty fantastic with Lord of the Long Box. And if you didn't know, Tim, Lord of the Long Box, have I think he kicked off yesterday. I think going forward every Tuesday night, he have a live chat too. So for those that enjoy live chat, Tim Tebow, he's doing a live chat every Tuesday night and on his channel, Lord of the Long Box, so that you can hear him talk about new issues, variant, things that will hit the store on Wednesday. So for those that are in the market for new books, variants, and all that stuff, you might have fun watching Tebow. You should join him in his roundtable live chat. I would love to. It's just one of those things where, you know, depending on the times, you know, it's hard for me to, like last night, I'm not sure what happened, but I was not able to watch it live even. I watched his show this morning at 7 o'clock while I was drinking my coffee. So, you know, it's if I could, I will. It'd be fun. I love live chat, you know, with people. If anybody here ever want to appear on the live chat with me, just let me know and I will send you the invite. I know some people does not want to show their pretty face, but hey, just look at this. This is all right. Anyhow, thank you, Mike. Bye. And whoever that still stick around, thank you for joining me. It's a short one today. You know, I'm in a hurry to go watch my TV show. But anyhow, I think it's a good time to shut off and go watch Arrow. Bye, everybody. I hope the show is going to be good. And I'm praying that I'm wrong, that the character is not dead. But I fear that she is dead. Anyhow, bye.